If you follow the Bookmark Bulletin on Facebook or Instagram, you've probably noticed that I love fun facts. So, fun fact for you, the fictional Anne Shirley from Anne of Green Gables is actually 2 years older than the real life Laura Ingalls Wilder. Welcome to Spill the Ink with the Bookmark Bulletin, your favorite corner of the internet where books don't just sit pretty on shelves, they practically jump off those shelves with stories to spill. I'm Faith, your caffeine fueled curator of chaotic reads, bizarre plot twists, and the occasional literary meltdown. From forgotten paperbacks to hyped up hardcovers, I'll be dissecting pages with questionable opinions, wild theories, and an unapologetic love for the smell of old books. So grab your beverage of choice, maybe a highlighter you'll never use, and let's dive into today's bookish mayhem. Little House on the Prairie and Anne of Green Gables were my original comfort read series, and I read them right around the same time. Little House is clearly set in the pioneer days, the late 1800s, but I remember Anne of Green Gables as being largely timeless. I mean, it's clearly set in the past, but surely not that long ago. So last night, I couldn't sleep, and for whatever reason, this was on my mind. I discovered Paul Hendrix's unsecure website, linked in the description, and I'm going to use his timeline to lay all of this out for you. The first Anne of Green Gables series book with clear date references is the last one, Rilla of Ingleside. It starts on June 28th, 1914, the same day Archduke Franz Ferdinand was assassinated, effectively starting World War I. Rilla, Anne's daughter, will be 15 in July, and Jim, Anne's oldest son, is 21. The previous book, Rainbow Valley, opens in May. Rilla is 6, Jim is 13, the year must be 1906. In Anne's House of Dreams, it's clear that Jim is born in the summer, and based on the fact that Anne of Ingleside says that Rilla was born 9 years after Anne and Gilbert got married, which means Rilla is 7 years older than Jim, meaning that he turns 22 after the beginning of Rilla of Ingleside, likely in July. This is an oversimplification. The website has way more detail, so if you want to know, go look it up. But these are the cliff notes. This means that Anne and Gilbert got married in September of 1890, when Anne was 25 years old and 14 years after she came to Green Gables. And since Anne was born in March, she must have been born in March of 1865, just a month before the end of the American Civil War and the assassination of President Abraham Lincoln. Now for Laura Ingalls Wilder. She was born February 7th, 1867, making her almost 2 years younger than Anne Shirley. Anne was 11 the summer she came to Green Gables. That summer, a 9-year-old Laura Ingalls and her family left Walnut Grove, Minnesota after grasshoppers destroyed their crops. So the beginning of Anne of Green Gables lines up with the end of On the Banks of Plum Creek. In 1883, as Laura begins teaching, Anne is starting her course at Redmond. Then Laura marries in 1885 and starts a family, eventually moving to Missouri. But Anne and Gilbert don't marry until 1880. Is this the weirdest thing for me to notice out of the blue? Yeah, probably. But if it weren't for the book Rilla of Ingleside, I would still be convinced that the fictional Anne is just still alive somewhere, surrounded by her grand and great grandchildren. But no, she would have turned 160 earlier this year. And that's a wrap on this chapter. If you're not questioning my sanity, am I even doing my job? Hit that like button like a plot twist you never saw coming. Subscribe for more literary shenanigans. And remember, T is for scandals, ink is for late night deep dives. Spill accordingly. Stay curious, stay quirky, and I'll see you between the lines.